Yes, my people, welcome back to another video. And my god, we've got news to talk about in today's video. My phone was blowing up like it's World War III on the way home from work on the bus. And I'm like, okay, what is this? Let's just have a look. Isak releases a statement. Let's dive into it. I don't want to waste no time. Make sure you're smashing that like button. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel. Breaking from Fabrizio Romano. Breaking. Alexander Isak releases statement. When promises are broken, trust is lost. The relationship can't continue. I'm proud to be recognised by my fellow professionals with a place in the PFA Premier League team this season for 24-25. Okay, so he congratulates Newcastle there. He says, first and foremost, I want to thank my teammates and everyone at Newcastle United who has supported me along the way. I'm not at the ceremony tonight with everything going on. It didn't feel right to be there. I've kept quiet for a long time. While others have spoken, the silence has allowed people to push their own versions of events, even though they know it doesn't reflect what really said and agreed behind closed doors. The reality is that promises were made, and the club has known my position for a long time to act as if these issues are only emerging as misleading. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue, and that's where things are for me right now, and why change is in the best interests of everyone, not just myself. And if you don't think this is real, this is Alexander Isak's Instagram story. As you can see, look, this is, his actual, Instagram. Right, we're going to go to his Instagram story. As you can see, it is literally on there for you. So this isn't just a made-up tweet. It's actually by Alexander Isak himself. Now, let's actually break it down. Now, so obviously, he talks about the promises unbroken of the relationship. And I said this weeks and months ago. This is the reason why he's not going to continue at Newcastle. This is why they are going to sell him. And I think this statement pushes it even more to the reason as to why he is going to be leaving Newcastle United in the next couple of weeks. Obviously says, thank you for my support along the way to be able to get me into the awards. Could you imagine if he actually won the award, by the way? Mohamed Salah's going to win Player of the Season. But could you actually imagine a world if Alexander Isak was to win? If Isak was to actually win this award, it would actually be hilarious. Because brother's not even there. Because obviously they know Isak can't go. Because of what would be asked about the club, what would be asked about him, etc. And obviously he spoke about he's kept his promises for a long time. Obviously, probably aiming at all the journalists, everyone that's just been misleading false narratives about the whole situation. Probably making a dig at Newcastle United as well. Eddie Howe saying he doesn't know anything about this. He probably does. And obviously, the main thing is for me is when he goes on, when promises are broken, trust is lost, the relationship can't continue, and that's why things are for me right now, and that's why change is in the best interests of everyone. So he's aiming at a year ago that he got offered a chance in a year's time that he could leave Newcastle if he wanted to, whether that's Real Madrid, Liverpool, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, whoever. Obviously, if he wanted the move, and obviously Liverpool will come in, he wants the Liverpool move. So when you get promised something like on this sort of level, you're gonna be angry. You're going to be mad. Like if I was promised something and I was contracted to somewhere, I'd want that relationship to break down, because how are you going to build and stick to your word of your contract if you're not going to stick to the promises and the trust? Newcastle United's all about a city, a togetherness, together and all. Alexander Isak's not a part of that. He's been training alone. He's been training at his ex-club in Real Sociedad. This is why the situation cannot continue. It simply cannot continue. And this is why I've been confident for so many weeks and months as to why Alexander Isak is going to be a Liverpool player. Fabrizio Romano is also giving an update tweet. He says, Alexander Isak makes his move as it was always clear since July. He only wants Liverpool. He doesn't want to discuss any other option with So as you can see there, In black and white, he only wants the Liverpool move, and that's been the case since July. This is going to happen. This deal is going to happen, like it or not. Alexander Isak is going to be a Liverpool player, because I genuinely think he'll put his diggers heels in, and he'll actually wait till January. I actually genuinely think he will, because don't give me this whole guarantee World Cup nonsense. He's going to get picked. He's going to get picked for Sweden international games. So he's going to get game time. He's going to get game time in the World Cup qualifiers. He's going to get game time no matter what with his country. Do you really think Sweden are going to leave Alexander Isak out? What, because forget he's not been playing for Newcastle? Of course they're going to take him. Can I just say one more thing? Where was the whole narrative for Wissa, for Gyökeres, pushing for this move? But Alexander Isak in Liverpool, oh wait, no, it's so wrong. We have to feel sorry for Newcastle. I actually think he's also doing him a favour by bringing in money for that football club. And he's talking about the best interests at heart. And I actually think a lot more has actually gone on off behind the scenes than the more that's been let on, obviously barring his statement. So people especially like subscribe, stay updated with the latest Liverpool content. Alexander Isak releases a Gogjantuik statement.